right, so after much difficulty setting things up, I've got my Windows machine running here, although somehow I'm having no luck getting the right window here. Alt-Tab, there. Right. I made it full screen and now I can't bring it up. No end of technical problems today. All right, maybe if I hit the icon here. There. Okay, I've made it here, and I'm going to leave it there. All right, so now I want to launch Splunk. After you've installed Splunk, you should have a Splunk option available in the Start menu. And it's slow, SPLU. All right, there it is, Splunk Enterprise. And I just had a student saying they're having trouble launching Splunk even after installing it. If you've installed Splunk, it should automatically be running in the background, but you won't see it until you launch it from that icon, or you put 127.001:8000 in a browser's URL bar. Now you can log in. And now I've got the same Splunk that you people have with the data that came from Splunk. So if I go to Search and Reporting.
A question.
Yeah.
Can you open a browser from the Mac and point to that IP?
No. The listings on 120, that's a very good question. If you're running Splunk, it normally by default serves only on the local host to prevent a stranger from using it. So my cloud Splunks, I had to modify that. So you can get them out. Normally you can't. Only that 127.0.0.1 you can only get from the same machine. You can go in the Splunk settings and tell it to listen on a public address. And then other people could see it. And that's, of course, a security risk.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Good. Now let me shrink this down. I think Control minus might work. It does work. Good. All right. So there's my Splunk. And so I should be able to get to data summary. All right. There we are. And make sure we've got what we should have, which is 3 sources of data. Those 3 files. Yep, the 3 files that came from Splunk. Database, web application, and web server. All right. Now, I think I'll open it up inside here just to make sure everybody can see it. I have to run this in full screen mode with the limitations of the projector in here, but I can just stay in my Windows virtual machine and probably get through the day. So I go here to 50, and now I go down to Projects, and I put the class materials again here because people are having trouble finding them. And it is student, and the password I've told you before. All right. And so we're going to do 8, I think. Let me check my schedule because I've got confused. 50. Might have to do 6. That's what I don't remember. All right, module 3 and 4. Did module 5 and 6 last time. So it's 8, 9, and 10 is what I want to do, which is not going to be very much because these are not very big. So there's 8. All right, so that's just header information, and down here's the stuff we're going to do. I just want to point it here so you know where it is, and I'm going to refer to it on a different screen so I can leave Splunk in full screen. So let me get a copy of that instruction over here where I should be able to see it. There we are. All right, I'm going to need another window. All right. Projects 8, 9, and 10. All right, so that's not the right one. 8. All right. All right, so first we search for the data you want. They want me to go here and get all web applications that include a purchase action with a status. Let's see, where's my Splunk? Here's my Splunk. All right. All right, they're supposed to be the answers at the end. In the second part of the instructions, let me point this out to you. The first part of the instructions poses it as like challenges for you. what I highly recommend for learning is just go to the second part where they have the answers. This shows you the queries to run. There we are. So here we go. That is the query we need. Index is main. Source type is access combined with cookie. And purchase status equal 100. Let me just get there. So if I wanted to find access combined with cookie. So I start with my data summary. And the one I use source type. This is the one we want. Access combined with cookie. Web server access. And we want to find the events with, we're looking for the events with status of 200. So we want a purchase action with status. So we do on this, and why am I getting 0 events? Maybe I have to go to all time. All right. Now I want a purchase action, so I should be able to find an action field down here. And there it is. There are 5 actions. So I want to purchase. Okay. And they want the purchase action with a status field of 200. These would be people who clicked the purchase button and successfully loaded that page because they're worried that there's some kind of web server problem and it's affecting purchases. So I want the HTTP status, which is status here. Okay, and they want 200 there. So that's what we want. Action equals purchase, status equals 200. Okay. Now we want to select the file fields in the interesting fields list. So there's a file field here, okay? And notice right now, the data is all just sort of run together here. And even if I expand it, the file field is going to be mixed in, but I can go to File, which is successor error, and I can make it selected. And now it moves File up to here to put it in the interesting fields list. And now it will appear up here in the bottom of every one of these records. It makes it more important. All right, so select File and see what the options are. And you see success and error and the counts. All right, there are 2 different files that were returned, error.do and search.do. The web server team informs you that success.do is served when the order is processed and error when there's an error with the information being processed. We're only looking for successful purchases, so we only want the ones with success.do. All right. Now we'll see fields that do not matter to the team. We want to use the fields command to return only certain fields here. So instead of getting all this information, we want to return just certain fields, which is pipe. And I can do Control-Enter to get to the next line to clean this up. Shift-Control-Enter. All right, thought it was going to work, but maybe I'm not getting the right key stretch in my virtual machine here. Fields, action. All they want is action. JSession ID. And status. All right, if I can spell them all correctly. All right. All right. There's those fields. And there's the results. The fields look cleaner. Right, here's the fields appear up here, but it hasn't changed what appears over here. So putting it in a table is the one. That's what all that does is remove the fields from this list here, which is not very meaningful. That's why I thought fields didn't seem to actually do anything. It just changes the look here. You still see all the events. The thing that is a lot more valuable, in my opinion, is table. So we want to make a table of those fields. That's what should make it more readable. There we go. Now I get action, JSession ID, and status in a table. I want to change the order of fields so JSession is in the first position. So I just move JSession over. Control X. And put it here. JSession action status, okay. unknown search command. Oh, I didn't put a space between table and JSession. All right, that'll do it now. Okay, now I just have JSession ID and status. All right. Now, session IDs are called user sessions, so rename them. And so you can do that after this one with another pipe with rename JSession ID as user sessions. All right. It just changes the label here. All right. Now we want to sort it by user sessions. So it's sort. Okay, now they are sorted by whatever this alphabetical thing is. All right. And now values show up multiple times. Well, yes, I guess they do. The first, all the ones we see, first, my mouse is gone. There it is. All right. Yeah, these first three are all the same, and then the rest are all the same, so that's annoying. So we might want to get rid of that using dedupe. All right. Dedupe JSession ID instead of sort. Okay, now to remove an identical value, so we do engine main. After this one, we're going to put in a dedupe. All right. Before the table, okay? Remember they said you should dedupe before doing more processing to make it efficient. And I guess the point is you're seeing all the purchases made by the same customer. You're seeing unique customers now. Instead of one customer bought several products, you're not seeing several records. So now these are all different. All right. Now, while having actions and status field display was nice, the marketing team will not need them, so remove them. All right. That's true. This action is always purchased and status is always 200. So there's no point printing them out in the chart. So let's get rid of them. All right. Now we have a list of unique customers. And that's as far as they wanted us to go on this one. So anyway, that's the Lab 8. So let's go on to 9. All right. Right, I'm going to stop the recording and make a separate recording in the next one. If I can get to it. Here. All right.